SoundCartel.
The truth is, everyone has a story. We may not always admit it or convey it, but we all go through tough times. And building a business is hard enough without personal struggle added to the mix, particularly when you're battling an addiction like alcoholism. But overcoming it and finding business success makes the achievements that much sweeter. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. If ever there was a case study of someone who's dragged herself from the depths of despair and destruction and then managed to rise above it and thrive as a business owner, it's Lee Squire. In the early 2000s, Lee bought herself a women's-only health and fitness franchise, Fernwood Fitness, in Ballarat, regional Victoria. She didn't realise the battles she was about to face. Struggling to pay a mountain of debt and working herself to exhaustion, Lee developed a heavy dependency on alcohol. It got to the point that she was drinking in the mornings, even sipping vodka in her water bottle at the gym. Eventually, with support from family, friends and colleagues, she conquered the demon drink and turned her life around and found even more energy to focus on her business. A lot more energy. She's won a slew of awards: Ballarat's Best Boss, Fernwood Franchisee of the Year, Fernwood Personal Training Club of the Year, and so on. Today, she's a mentor and coach to other business people. Lee Squire takes Chris Ashmore back to the start and the realities of running a business.
I guess I was people-pleasing because when I first walked in, I guess my team knew more about the operations day-to-day than I did. And whilst I had support of the previous owner, as, an interim period there, once the honeymoon period wore off, after about 5-6 months, it was like, and the rubber really hit the road then, and it was like, where am I? What's happening? This is, waking up at 3 a.m, as some other business owners can relate to, with, massive financial stress, which was my problem, which was created probably from the decisions we made and the inexperience. Because when you're managing someone's business, I guess you can go to sleep overnight and really you can get paid or you could leave. But when it's your own business, you're in. You've got skin in the game and you're responsible for it all.
How did you cope with that?
Sadly, I drank alcohol.
Did you always have a drinking problem?
I was always a party girl. People knew I was a party girl, the, social butterfly, but no one really had any idea, not even my family, until it became evident that in about 2010, when I was drinking of a morning, I can't even tell you when that started really, but that's how bad it got for me. Drinking of a morning, you're putting it in a water bottle with vodka so no one can smell it. I wasn't quite sure. So I guess that was a catalyst because it was a real moral boundary for me, that I was putting others at risk, myself, everyone, my family. I was a risk to myself at the end. I was a mess, broken, bloated and burnt out, 20 kilos heavier than I am. My life was out of control.
But you got over it. And when was the last time you had a drink?
The 7th of October 2012.
People don't talk about it much, but you're certainly someone who isn't quiet about the battle that you've had.
No, because guilt, shame and remorse are the lowest forms of emotions we can dump on ourselves, and it leaves us feeling less than, it steals our joy, it makes us stressed, and I know how that feels. You just really beat yourself to a pulp.
Now, if we have a look at Fernwood Fitness.
Yes.
What sets that apart from other gyms?
Women only. We are women who understand women. And the business is built on women understanding women, because women are so powerful when they're together in, collaborating and working together for the greater good, for supporting the whole woman, not just that, pushing that physical side. Because as women, we're more emotional than men, our menstrual cycle, our hormones, everything can come into play. So we can't train like men consistently. So we have to listen to our bodies and roll with our bodies and reduce the stress. And my members could never understand why I really understood my very overweight ladies, but I know what stress does to the body, and it blocks weight loss. You can eat lettuce leaves and you won't lose weight if you're really stressed, because it'll shut down. The limbic system will just take over and shut down all the other, your digestive and stress, and the brain capacity drops by 50%. So we can't make effective decisions, and you're managing that stress has been my passion, to increase mindset for our members and to bring those sessions directly in club, that it's the same. My just pushing emotional incidents and events in my life down with alcohol is no different to a woman who is doing the same but going to the pantry or the fridge.
Has there been a lot of changes in the fitness and health industry?
When I started in 1981, we didn't even wear, runners or workout shoes. It was just bare feet. I could do the high kicks and splits because I've got a dance background. That's how I got a job. About 4 years later, I got trained. They decided to bring out Certificate 3 in fitness. The industry got regulated. And then over the years, I've seen many fads come and go. But the one thing that stays is that I believe that it's if you can just get that commitment to yourself that you're going to come in or go to a gym or work out, just move that body 20 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes most days, and push just outside of that comfort zone, progressive overload, you'll see results.
Mm-hmm. So the fundamentals don't change?
No, they don't.
But do you see that people are more aware of health issues and their bodies than before?
Yes, I think so. And I think women will join a gym, or anyone will join a gym based on different goals and reasons. Like women who, like myself in their 50s going through menopause, will join for health. Or when we're 21, we can sometimes feel like we're bulletproof. And then as the years roll on, we realise we've got these health concerns.
As a business owner,
yes,
are you aware of changes in the industry and you need to be on top of them?
Always, yeah. I think you've always got to be ahead of the industry. I'm always reading, immersing in what's happening, what's coming, attending workshops. Business is business. I mean, I don't believe because we're in the fitness industry, that I look outside of our industry and look at other industries and see what they're doing that's disruptive. We are in a disruptive market. And if we're not careful and we're not being the disruptor ourselves, we'll get disrupted.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
So when I got sober, I went to AA for a long time and it served me so well, but I was still searching for something else because I'm a high energy kind of girl and I needed something more, and I stumbled across Tony Robbins, and I have many mentors, another lady called Terry Hawkins. She's an Aussie girl doing really well over in the States, and I found Tony and his mission, his vulnerability, his honesty, his passion for helping others. I've just really resonated with it all. So I invested quite heavily in my personal development because I was searching for more so I could bring it back to the greater good in my community and share. And also because I've got to fish rocks from the head in a business, and if I'm not on my game, how can I expect the team under me to be on their game? It's like everything in the business is, I believe, the owner's fault. It's a mindset of the owner, and if we can shift that, we can shift anything. But the energy comes from the owner, everything, the philosophies, the culture, everything starts and ends with the owner.
What does it take to run a successful business?
I believe you've got to continually reinvent, market, take control of your sales system, the sales funnel. If you're not all over that, I seriously recommend that you get control of, growth, not fear of the expense line. Be aware of your expenses, manage it, know your numbers. Know your numbers is the power. If you don't know your numbers, how can you manage something annually? You can't measure it. If you're not measuring, measure every day, because then you know where you're going, you know the road ahead, and then it's easier to change direction. But if you don't know what you don't know, then ignorance isn't bliss. Ignorance is pain. Ensuring that you're optimising and working with the power of compound in different areas of the business. So it could be 5% here, 1% here, 2% here. Extrapolate that out over time, compound over time, will certainly give you outstanding results that, we just maybe if the inquiry to purchase or whatever it is for any business, if that was just tweaked, what if we just tweak this, did one thing better? If we all stepped up by 1%, what does that look like in your organisation? Instead of going for these huge end goals that people can become fearful of, and they won't buy into your vision if it's just your vision. You've got to onboard the team, lead the team forward. Seek out those that are intrinsically motivated, because you can't be there. You don't want to be there in the trenches every day. You want to be able to have a life, because that's why we buy business, for freedom. Employ the best person you can for that role.
That was Fernwood Fitness business owner Lee Squire. Business Essentials Daily is a SoundCartel podcast. Executive producer is Heather Dawson. Producers are Nick Schilberger, Chris Ashmore, and myself. Technical production by Pete Letts and Belinda Trimboli. I'm Nicole Goodman. Thanks for listening. We'll bring you more Be Daily next week.